Welcome back. We do have people who are sending in their comments. Let me see if we could just take this one. Yumi says, assessing INEc from the registration stage to the elections proper, I will score INEc 52% because of you. He says, to have a distinction, you must be next to perfect. I still do not have a PVC till date, and this is the same. That's from Yumi. Al-Kali Maman says, Iboro should know that electoral management is not the duty of INEc alone. Does INEc control the security agencies? He says, INEc should be commended and urged to improve where there is need in subsequent elections. That's to Iboro directly. Okay, Fred, I asked a question before we went on break, but two of you were high in spirit, so you did not answer my question. Now you're saying INEc deserves more than a pass mark.
Yes, more than a pass mark.
Okay. Why does INEc deserve more than a pass mark? Is it possible to list some of them? He listed two things. He said no election materials, particularly in Akwa Ibom and Rivers State, thuggery, and other irregularities. So
still in a particular enclave?
No. He said beyond that, beyond Akwa Ibom and Rivers, in other parts as well. So why are you saying INEc deserves more than a pass mark?
Do you know how many state governors, gubernatorial candidates that have congratulated the winners?
No, there is
I'm coming. Do you know how many of them? Do you know how many legislators that have congratulated the winners? Do you know how many people that are satisfied, satisfied with the electoral process? I mean, these are the things I've asked that question. Look, does it mean that once a loser in an electoral process does not accept the result of election, then the umpire did not do well?
Does it mean that if the loser accepts the results of the election, does it mean the umpire
has done well?
No,
it doesn't.
It means that the loser is satisfied.
It doesn't. It could mean he's counting his losses. Let me tell you, congratulatory messages is a typically Nigerian thing. People have come out of prison. Listen, people have come out of prison for criminal cases. They were convicted for crime, real crime. And then the whole big street party is people congratulate him all over the place. So congratulations is a Nigerian thing. That's a fact. Now let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let's get to the bottom of it.
Yes.
Now we're dealing with the issue of impunity.
Yes.
If people sit down and use private armies to write results and announce for themselves, and then the umpire, which is not obligated in any way, which is not obligated. No, that is a fact. That's a fact that has been that's a fact that has been confirmed. I tell you by international observers. You cannot fault the United States government. They do not have a personal stake in this election.
Let me tell you.
You cannot fault the EU. They don't have a personal stake in this election. The civil societies organizations, they don't have personal stake in this election. And they have all said these elections were flawed beyond redemption.
We have seen these things in places where observers don't even move around on election day. They are kept in comfort places.
But this one they move
I am coming. They are kept in comfort zones, and then they just come out to write report.
That's hypothetical. In this case, they move around.
Based on either what they hear or what they feel. If they move around, they wouldn't say that. If they say that, it will be important. I'm not saying that the election was 100% okay. I'm not saying that. And that was why.
By awarding a distinction, you are more or less saying that.
No,
in fact, you are saying that without
getting to. That was why I allowed.
Because a distinction, I have already told you.
I gave you a whole.
I have already told you. I was once a teacher. A distinction is a near flawless operation.
I was once a teacher too.
A near flawless operation.
All right, gentlemen.
And if you make an A all through, you are making a distinction.
Gentlemen, I was once a student and I'm still a student. So let's see if we can take in this mark. Philip David says, I give INEc 45%. Do you know that up till today, I do not have my PVC?
What effort did he make to get his PVC?
No, they made all
I am not saying that everybody that wanted PVC got it. But there were so many people that did not go to get their PVC.
You see how so many people made all the effort.
There were many people that did not go to get their PVC. And there were some people that actually went. And even, look, Nigerians, so many Nigerians don't have patience. When they go once and they don't achieve it, they say to hell.
Mr. Sako, that could now be true.
They say to
now
hell.
let us look at what happened on election day.
You
say Nigerians are not patient. No, it's not true. Let's look at what happened on election day. Nigerians queued patiently almost all night to vote. And you are telling me that those people don't have patience? What kind of patience do you be looking for?
Those that didn't get PVC don't have patience.
They did.
In some places.
They went repeatedly.
I went repeatedly
and they couldn't
and I collected my own. And I voted.
Because we are lucky like me. I collected my own.
Is it a portion of luck?
Yes, it went down to luck.
How many million people collected their PVC in Nigeria?
Nigeria is a country of 170 million.
How many people got registered?
Even if 50 million collected,
yes,
it is still
a drop.
Given our population.
No, you don't expect that 170 million would have collected PVC.
No, I don't expect, but I expect much higher than the 68 million that they were announcing. Because Nigerians never gave up. They went looking for their PVs to collect up to the very last minute.
All right, let's hear this one there. Yami again says over 5 million people registered in Lagos, but about 25% voted. Reason being that people that had moved from where they registered to other places could not go back to where they registered to vote.
Is it the fault of INEc?
Oh, it is the fault of INEc.
How can it be the fault of INEc?
It is the fault of INEC because
if you live in Alabado and you register in Shangotedo, how would you work?
Now, the issue
on election day, you're head up in your room, you're head up in your area of domicile, and you cannot vote where you did not register. So it's as simple as that. How does that concern INEc? Now, look, I'm a vociferous critic of INEc before this election. Everybody knows that. And I kept saying...
So why did you change?
No, because INEC has performed.
Oh.
And I kept saying that democracy in Nigeria will be made or mad by INEC. Now, and INEC has made our democracy. He never made it. And now Nigeria is moving forward.
Let me tell you.
And many thanks to the president who has set a roadmap.
Taking care of
so don't begin to tell me that INEC
taking care of people who are relocated, making sure people who are relocated can vote is part of INEC's design architecture.
No,
it is part. No, it's not to postpone.
It's not meant to speak the voter. Many of the voters do not intimate INEC.
If INEC had designed a flexible architecture to allow people to exercise
such flexibility will allow rigging. We will not allow rigging. Will come after the election to begin to shout.
It will simply ensure that when people move, they have a recourse to get assistance.
Yes.
For them to be able to vote.
How many of them intimated INEC?
It will depend on the design that INEC brought to bear on this process.
I don't agree with
but INEC did not have such a flexible, flexibly sensitive design that will allow people to vote as they move.
You seem to have forgotten the environment we live in.
What is the environment?
Where virtually 90% of the politicians will want to win election at all costs. And almost 99% of them would want to rig in one way or the other.
Let me tell you.
It is the duty of the umpire to forestall such rigging attempts. If INEC goes with such flexibility,
if you have read Lord of the Flies, you would have found that human beings are basically the same everywhere. Now, what makes people to be different, maybe in America, from people in Nigeria, are the umpires. Those people
the laws. I agree with you, and that is why INEC will not allow you
Is it that we do not have the laws that can allow INEC to make a distinction?
We do have the laws.
And did anybody say INEC cannot?
We do have the laws.
Apart from my friend.